So I wanted to talk today about scams, stupidity, and buzzwords commonly seen in coin sale ads. And I just wanted to talk about some things. I'm sure I've seen plenty of criticism from like forums and numerous websites, and face to face I've talked with people who have objected to the same things I've seen. But without further ado, I wanted to talk about these list of terms and phrases commonly seen used as components of the marketing techniques in coin ads on eBay or other peer-to-peer website marketplaces. And this list is often used in scams or just misleading or hyperbolic ads, not necessarily like a scam like someone's robbing you, but just buzzwords trying to get your attention. Not every seller uses these terms to mislead a buyer. It's probably just a plurality of the time, not necessarily even a majority of the time. Better date. By this, a seller means, I can't think of anything about this coin that makes it an actually valuable or rare coin, at least beyond comparable equivalents with slightly different dates or mint marks. So I'm going to add on this nonsense phrase that doesn't really amount to any added value. What a seller often really wants to say, and I'll use the $20 Liberty Head series as an example, is, hey, this $1898 $20 and very fine isn't really a rare coin, but at least it's not one of the 1904s that you see 100 times a day. Another example, non-precious metals, V nickels. So the 1912D is probably a good example of a truly better date. I think better date should be used to describe semi-keys. The problem is that you see it described too often in ads where somebody has a coin that, in terms of mintage and in general known confirmed population, is actually quite high. It's quite common. It's just that cyclically, or maybe even seasonally or something, it's just very few of it are on eBay, or it's just not very common in the market right now for some unknown reason. There's just not very many of them. And so maybe the peak of people collecting that particular year in mint mark is happening right now, and the supply is also happening right now. So the price is anomalously high. That's entirely possible, but that doesn't really establish true long-term longevity as an investment. And so that's the point, is that better date, you can't go off of anomalous prices or strange aberrations of sudden fluctuations in supply and demand that are just brief, and only that. They're not like permanent. Like a 1933 double eagle, we know you're not going to find a whole bank full of them somewhere. There's only a few of them out there somewhere. I think there's only a few of them that are legal, although the whole Joan Langboard thing is kind of up in the air until it goes to the Supreme Court. But better date, it can, this phrase can be used properly, but I see it used improperly all the time on just common dates and just regular coins. I hate that. And so what I said about the seller can't think of anything that makes it really rare or valuable, yeah, I see that all the time. I get so sick of it, man. It's such stupid crap. Oh, here's another one. BU++. Gotta remember the plus. AU++. Extra fine ++. When a seller adds these two plus signs, by this, they mean their coin is so much better than the grade they claim it has that it practically is a grade or two up, but they can't really mean that, or they would simply list it as that grade up instead of, extra fine ++, they would put AU, or they would list it as BU instead of AU++. In other words, this is a bullshit, I repeat, bullshit label. Often used by sellers who want to exaggerate the condition of their coins in order to maximize their earnings. It's that simple. Whether or not whether or not they're even scamming an unknowing prospective buyer, it's just hyperbole. This one kind of cuts a close corner, though, to borderline scamming, because what does the plus mean? What does it imply? What does it denote? What's the inherent meaning of it? And that's my point, is that unless you're adding those plus signs to really mean it's up, well, then why is it there? I mean, even PCGS and NGC, when they put a plus sign, they don't put two pluses. It's unprofessional. It's not professional to put two of them there. Superb, lustrous, gem. Now, granted, just like better date, there are cases where this can work well, or it can be completely accurate. But unless the seller's coin is professionally graded, they have no way of guaranteeing the coin is truly gem, because that term is actually defined in numismatics. I've heard it defined different ways depending on who you talk to. But originally, it was supposed to mean MS67. But I've actually heard some people say 65. Those are so high of grades. I could probably agree with 65. But use of it on a raw coin, since raw coins can be whizzed, tooled, cleaned, altered, and even just straight up counterfeit, it's bullshit. I can't stand people who use the term gem in particular. This is exclusive of lustrous or superb. As for lustrous, this one is defined purely by the reflectivity and consistency of the coin's color, essentially. It has no bearing on grade in a truly quantitative measure, and therefore no bearing on its supposed value, although it will probably have a bearing. It will assist mildly with value for aesthetics, but most professionals and true long-term collectors won't add much, if any, value at all to this coin. Superb is almost as bad as gem, with the exception that, as far as I know, it's not an officially and regularly used part of the nomenclature in numismatic grading, particularly in the context of the Sheldon scale. It's a subjective term, given its lack of concrete definition. Is it superb for being rare? Superb as being an example of a type coin? What is the true definition of superb in the context of numismatics? There is none as of now. Therefore, there is no value added. It's just a buzzword. Tough date. Here's another one. Here's another one. Tough date. Unless someone actually uses the word key date or low mintage, those really are basically it. This is almost as bad as saying better date. The only time these phrases come into use as terminology is in times where the coin market has common date coins briefly become scarce due to, and this is what I was talking about before, abnormally low volumes of trade, wherein a fairly typical coin can achieve above average prices, sometimes phenomenally above average, if it's in the right grade or whatever, and the listing's great and there's like 2 or 3 bidders all aching for it. But these aberrations occur very sparingly. Seldom does this happen, and therefore should not dictate one's long-term investment strategy. Scarce, rare, or anything that it implies value above melt. If these terms, scarce and rare, and anything else that implies value above melt. If a coin is not commonly known to be rare compared to similar coins, it is not a key date or rare. I really hate it when I saw someone selling a 1907 Indian head gold coin, $10, and those aren't actually that rare. There are plenty of them out there, especially in the lower grades, plenty of them, even in the AU level. And yes, it's the first year. Yeah, it's the no motto variety, whatever. I don't care. The fact is that it's not actually rare. It's not like that coin in very fine is going to cost you $10,000. Rare, in my book, personally, this is what I go off of. I know that gold and silver go up and down all the time. If a coin doesn't cost 250% of melt value, it's not rare. I don't care. It is not rare. That's for gold coins. For silver coins, 500% of melt value. If your silver dollar, maybe call it 800%. If you don't have a silver dollar worth at least $100, at least $100, and if you don't have a gold coin, say a double eagle, worth at least, I might call it $2,500, but I would say safely $2,500 to $3,000 for a $20 gold coin, and for a $10 gold coin, I'd call it $1,500 to $2,000. If you don't have something truly worth like 2.5 to 3 times melt, it's not really rare. It's semi-rare. And that's another aspect of gold, and this is why I brought up gold and silver, is that as commodities, they fluctuate up and down. And so there are times when, years ago, I remember looking at these auctions. It was funny. I was looking at this coin in MS66. It was a double eagle. And you could see that in mint state 66 in 2006, when gold was, I don't know, 600 an ounce or something. It was way, way, way less than it is now. The coin in mint state 66 was going for $2,000. It was going for well above melt. But that coin, even when spot went up to like $2,000 an ounce, was still $2,000. Maybe a hair more, maybe 23 or 2,400, a little movement just to push it a little beyond melt, but probably not much. And then now in the current market, it's a $2,000 coin. So went for X, went for a little more than X, went right back down to X. And so while I use those terms, 250%, 500%, etc., it's relative. Gold and silver go up and down. Obviously, if silver were to drop to $2 an ounce, well, I'm not saying your silver dollar has to be worth $5. I mean, if it's only worth $5 and it's 100 years old, it's not really that rare, is it? So what I really mean here is that although I brought up gold and silver as something to compare the values to, and certainly those values go up and down all the time, to really qualify as a rare coin or scarce coin, I think that it just has to have a price history that consistently places it above melt. Truly. And then obviously for nickels and non-precious metal coins, pennies, cents, whatever, well, then that's just going to be its own thing. That's going to be relative to whatever the prices are for common dates, if there are common dates, unless it's a pattern or some strange odd variety or rare 1-year issue or whatever. You get my point. There's like all kinds of different coins that fall into that category where it's hard to compare them. Silver dollars are great because you can always compare an 1883 Philadelphia to the 1895 proof Morgan, because you can always go, well, you know, I know that the proofs are tens of thousands of dollars, and the 1883 in good condition is a $20 coin, so or something. It's not very much. And so that's kind of the point, is that common dates, if you don't have them, then it becomes hard to know what is scarce. Scarce and rare as terms, which is what I'm discussing in terms of value above melt, which is how I define it here. I'm getting at the exception that if it's non-precious metals, well, then yeah. So it wouldn't be value above melt. It'd be just value relative to commons. So if it's not commonly known to be rare compared to similar coins, it's not a key date or rare. It's like calling a 1904 $20 Liberty Head gold coin rare. All gold coins are rare compared to pocket change. It's the same for silver coins. It's only rare when you compare it to normal circulating coinage. It's not rare as a coin within its own series, within its own right, and therefore that makes this label really manipulative and misleading. And I hate it because I see this one all the time. Rare. It's all over eBay. And it's very few things are really rare. And well, plenty of things are rare, but they're not valuable. A rock from my backyard is rare. There's only one rock from my backyard, but is it valuable? I mean, so that's the value and true use of the phrase key date, is that it singularly defines concisely the rarity within the context of comparable coins within the same series, which is the only fair and objective way to define rarity beyond, say, toning or error coins, die varieties, and significantly more esoteric subjects. Sellers who use the words rare or scarce in the title of ads for common coins get a no-go, no business vote from me. That's it. If I see you've got a 1904 double eagle listed as a rare coin, we're done. You're not getting my business because it's not rare. Well, another point, any seller who uses the word look, especially, oh, this really pisses me off, when it's in all caps or they replace the O's with Q's or at symbols, you know, like from the email, the A with a circle around it. This is, oh my God, so irritating. This is a gimmick, the total advertising gimmick. This is an indication of desperation and lowers the level of respect I can even give to a seller as a potential buyer. And that in turn will certainly hurt their chances of making a sell by making me or any client making us take them less seriously. And here's something which is not particularly easy to show through words, but something which we all know can easily be observed on eBay or other marketplace websites: photo manipulation. We all know that just like a coin can be whizzed or cleaned, tooled, or whatever, beyond the actual manipulation of the coin, due to programs like Photoshop and even MS Paint, people can cleverly edit the photos of their coins, which doesn't matter too much on graded coins, but it can a little. But if you're buying a raw coin, application features which can smooth the surface fields or Lady Liberty's cheek on a coin, erasing hairlines, small gashes, and full-blown damage to a coin. They can all become invisible. Problems all over a coin can become absent from consideration in value. And when a coin arrives, depending on the level of damage or wear edited out, if you bother to make a complaint with eBay, the seller could claim if it's a raw coin that you simply handled the coin wrong, or even trying to swap out coins on them. Depending on the quantity of positive feedback on their page, you could very easily be screwed. This is a bad one. On the note of photo manipulation, there are sellers who deliberately size their photos so that you can't zoom in order to make it impossible to effectively and accurately scrutinize the coins they're selling. If you try to open these photos in another window or tab to try and zoom in, they just pixelate. The photos just turn into a blur, and this indistinguishable. This is common among people selling coins that are clean, damaged, worn, raw, and for any reason in a condition that's a detractor. Seldom is it from people who just happen to have a camera that took photos conveniently at the bare minimum and maximum pixel quality for eBay's little preview photo. That's just too much bullshit. On top of this, people who don't want you zooming in includes people selling counterfeits. So it's not just bad real coins, it's just bad coins. And then another thing, photos that are taken at a distance, at awkward angles, and or with bad or manipulated lighting, normally trying to effectively cast a coin in the best light rather than under the heaviest fair scrutiny, which can be equated to a near objective truth about the status of the coin. We just want a fair transaction. That's all I want. It's all anybody wants, right? Is a fair to be fair. And people who want to awkward angle at a distance, blurry through a lens that's scratched and with terrible lighting and a shadow, and God, many coin sellers use photos that, by controlling just the right area of shadows, the dim of the light, the tilt of the coin relative to the plane of the camera lens, the subtle shift of the angle of the light relative to the plane of the coin, etc., etc., you'll notice a pattern, especially on people who are experienced at doing with this, where effectively the coins are in a low contrast. I'm going to use that term, low contrast photo, where it's hard to tell the difference between if you have the coin in person compared to looking at it on a photo. In person, you go, oh, there's a scratch on it. And in the photo, you go, just kind of looks like a shadow. You can't really see anything there. And that's the point. If you can't even see it, then that's a low contrast photo where you can't really tell the difference. That's what contrast is the ability to see the difference between not damaged, damaged. So if you can't see very much of the details of a coin without squinting or opening the photo in a photo editing program that can heighten the contrast, then you're looking at a manipulated or cleverly staged photo. It's very unlikely that it's convenient. Now, for the second part of this video, this is probably going to get me in trouble. No, okay, I'm not going to name the companies because I don't want to be sued. But let's just say there's a big company, and they've been doing business for a long time, since 1945 or around there, somewhere in the 40s. They have been doing, that's what, 71 years now. Coin company that most of their customers have been buying from them for decades. They're probably, the customers are in their 70s, 80s, or even 90 some odd years old. When they buy coins from this company, they have no idea what the true value or lack thereof is of the coins they're buying. They purchase the coins for nostalgia and out of ignorance of the substantially overblown prices these guys charge. I'm going to tell you why I even bring this up. I bought someone's coin collection, and they had a bunch of the plastic little, can I say what, they weren't flips. They were like sealed little baggies that the coins came in. Kind of almost like candy. And it had the name of the company on it and everything. And the lady tells me what she paid per coin. And I'm just thinking, damn, that is nowhere near the value of this coin. I'm just like, oh shit. I can't. She's like, can you make me an offer? I'm like, man, how do you tell somebody they just lost 90% or whatever? or whatever, maybe 50%. Or with her, it was like, yeah, it was probably about 90%. She probably, yeah, maybe 80%. It was a huge loss. So anyway, but that's just one company. Another one is a television network. I can use that word. These people hire a guy. Can I give his name? I can't. I'm not going to give his name. I will say I don't want to be sued. If you Google this man, he's like a ghost. He's like CIA. The lack of information on this guy. His repeated appearances on television, I would assume one could even find at least his age or a little biography about him, but nothing. This guy is a ghost. He's just nothing on the internet. He is a salesman. He claims to be a longtime coin expert, numismatist, coin dealer, but actually I read an article about him. I found one article. Someone was able to find some information on this guy. I can't give his name. Again, I'm not going to be sued because I got all kinds of slander laws. But he is not a coin expert. He's just a salesman, and he's very good at it. He certainly sold lots of coins for this television network that has 3 letters in its acronym. But and they do a lot of late night advertising, 2 a.m., 3 a.m., midnight, 11 p.m., 5 a.m. And I've seen them advertise on like the History Channel and maybe and they've even advertised on all kinds of different networks. And so jewelry sometimes. It's one of the biggest scams that this three letter network was involved in. Was 2010, 2011, and this was one of the articles I read. During the height of the bullion spike for silver, it was near all-time highs of close to $50 an ounce, when they were selling proof silver eagles in the open market, eBay, elsewhere. They were going for $70 to $80 a piece. A proof silver eagle was, call it $75. But this 3-letter network had them for $160 to $180 a piece. Another one is a certain privately owned mint run by a former politician. Not going to name the mint, not going to name the former politician, but let's just say politicians are not just assholes in office. They're assholes when they leave. This company, oh man, it really bothers me just as bad as the first company. If you think I'm bad-mouthing these guys, just wait until you find out what these guys are doing. On their website, a common date, $20 Liberty Head gold eagle, double eagle gold coin, which, as you know, contains slightly under a troy ounce of gold. In the open market, a common date. Oh, I'll get to that in a moment. On their website, it currently costs over $3,500. Over $3,500. But in the open market, even on eBay, that coin can be bought from most dealers for around $1,400 currently. 2.5 times less than this private mint. And that means that this mint is charging 250% of market value, an astoundingly high and absurd premium, especially considering that the coins, oh, this is the best part. This is the funny thing. They're not buying a key date. This isn't some Carson City double eagle. They're not including $100 face value in Morgan silver dollars or some equally, oh, okay, there's a bonus. No, the coins have to be in fine condition at minimum, and it's not a minimum like they have to be brilliant uncirculated or they have to be key dates. It's over 3,500. It's over 3,500, and I think that doesn't even include shipping. I don't think. If I open the website, I don't think it is. But there's no guarantee of it being a key date, and there's no guarantee of it being BU. It's most likely the bare minimum is simply that it's $20 face value gold coin, and that it's in fine condition. Utter bullshit. Total scam. You're going to lose $2,000 minimum off of this. Crazy scam. And there's a third one. It's a 3-letter acronym, and then direct. And this is another company that relies heavily on get this, modern graded coins. Now, actually, I've read plenty of articles that say modern graded bullion is a scam. I don't agree with that. I think that there are arguments. I'm not going to lay them out in this video. It's way too complicated, but there are some valid arguments to certain modern graded coins. By modern, I mean anything made in the last 45 years. But the thing is that these guys, this particular 3-letter acronym direct company, they seem to rely mostly on lots of IGS and other no-name grading services and other grading companies whose grades are about as reliable as Soviet car engines. As an example, they're selling extra fine AU Gold Eagles, $10 gold coins, which in the open market are probably around $700-800. Call it $750. They're selling them for $1,200 each currently. And yeah, I mean, that's just what, 80% more, something like that, 50, 68. It's just insane. And so that's just a few of the scams I see. Another thing, I don't have it written in my list, but on eBay in particular, I see plenty of sellers who they do these. I know eBay tried to outlaw this, and they still do have laws against certain kinds of lotteries and sweepstakes, but there are guys who put up ads and they say you can buy I'm selling a gold coin, $355 or some other buy it now price, and there's no make offer, there's no nothing, just buy it now, $355. And so there's a gamble. You will receive one gold coin. It's total scam. One gold coin. I guarantee none of the coins will be one of the tiny $1 gold coins. Everything here is at least $2.50 or $5, maybe a $10 or even a $20. And they go, yeah, man, just buy this gold coin ad. But the thing is that they don't guarantee what kind of coin you receive. It could be a $2.50 piece, which has a melt value of about $150 or less. A $5 gold coin. It could be a $10 gold coin. So you basically just about doubled your money. Or it could even be a $20 gold coin. Wow. Wow. So you look on their feedback and you go, yeah, a whole lot of neutrals, a few negatives even. There's some positives in there. So I'm sure they must have thrown something in there to make people happy. But in general, obviously, if somebody's selling you $355 ad, they're not going to give you a $1,000, $2,000 coin. They're going to send you a coin worth less than $355 because they're going to lose $35.50, 10% to PayPal. Sorry, to eBay. They're going to lose another, call it $10 to PayPal. Then they got to spend the $20 on shipping. So they're losing, like, what is that? 35, 45, about $65 out the door to fees and stuff. So they're only walking away with like $290. So they got to send you something worth less than $290, and then whatever that difference is their profit. And they're not going to put up ads on eBay and write out this whole description and bold the font and color and italicize and ship it to you and drive around and do all this effort and time unless there's money in it for them. Of course not. So if they're selling this, it's for profit, plain and simple. And so you're not getting a $300 coin for $355 because they're not even walking away with $300. They're going to send you one of those damn $2.50 coins that they're buying from someone, somewhere, somehow for like $150, $200, somehow, maybe. And that's kind of the point, is that I see all these damn scams on eBay where that one isn't as much of a scam, but I feel like when you buy a lottery ticket, do this. Don't even have to buy a lottery ticket. Just look up like your state's lottery laws, if they have them. I think most states have lotteries. I know the state of Texas does. They have established public information on the odds of winning. They say, oh, you got a 1 in 4 chance of winning a $1 prize, a 1 in 10,000 chance of winning a $100 prize, a 1 in a million chance of winning $1 million, or whatever. Maybe it's actually more like a 1 in 10 million, 1 in 100 million to win the $1 million. But you get the point. It's exponentially greater the greater the value of the prize. With this guy's ad, or there are plenty of people who do that same thing. It's like, you don't know what your odds are. They don't even publish it. And I don't like that kind of gamble ad, whatever. The second thing I see on eBay is there are people who put up these ads where they have these little bottles of vials of gold flakes. if you read the description carefully, and I mean carefully, those gold flakes, although the title says gold flakes, they look like gold flakes. They got good photos. They're beautiful looking. I'm not going to lie. Aesthetically, they were very reflective, very shiny. I like shiny things. I'm just a man, you know, but they're not gold. In the description, it says it's something that's like gold plated or leaf or so. It's like 99% junk metal, like brass or so. I don't even know. It's not gold. Those gold leaf flakes, if you try to melt it down, send it to a refiner, they're not pure gold. They're not even like mostly gold. And so the other thing is they often include the gold leaf flake just so they can say in the title gold. Variety of items including silver coins and gold. And see, they put the silver coins, but they don't put gold coins. They put gold so that they can so they can deliberately mislead you into thinking you're getting gold coins. Bullshit marketing tactic. And so when you read the description, they go, we include one coin that's at least 100 years old. And you go, okay, 100-year-old coin. Okay, so a freaking, you know, V nickel. some were an Indian head penny. And then they go, okay, well, then we're going to have at least one American silver coin, 50 plus years old. And if you were around in 2014, you certainly saw a crazy amount of this going on. They go, oh, yeah, 50 plus years old. Because as soon as that magic number got hit of 1964 being half a century old, then they could use the words half a century. They could use it. And so it became just free reign for all the scammers. Man, every December 31st, January 1st, start panicking. All the scams start coming out. People start to realize, hey, you know, I can put up an ad for a $57 buy it now little lot where I include a silver quarter, 1964. And, you know, I got some pennies over there. I can't really show them, but that's another scam on eBay where somebody has a lot and they're vague as hell. They say we're including one coin that's silver, and if you buy more than one lot, we include 2 coins that are silver. But if you buy 3 lots or more, we include an extra free. If you give us a few $100s, it's free. Silver coin worth a whopping $3.50. Fucking scam of the century. These people piss me off so badly. And then and that's just the way it is. And so you look on their feedback. If you look on their feedback on eBay, those guys' feedback compared to the first guy, they have a similar thing where these guys actually tend to have a slightly generally more positive feedback, tends to be less neutrals, but they have more negatives. And so you see more of the complaints where people go, yeah, the coins I got weren't even worth the $40. And so that's amusing. That's an interesting thing to think about, is that the guy selling this stuff for $355, total percentage of negatives is actually less per sale than the total amount of negatives the other guys get. And I guess it's because the latter people simply get a greater volume, because when you do a $355 sale, you're going to get less total sales most likely than somebody doing a $30 or $50 buy it now item where you're going to get probably 10 times as many people, or 7 or 10 or whatever. You're probably going to get more people. And so this is only like the second kind of eBay buy it now scam. The third kind, oh, I hate this crap, is where, and it's actually this one specific seller, and they talk about how they found the coins in a barn. It was a hoard, and that it all came from the pre-Great Depression during the outlaw of the Prohibition period. And they said, oh yeah, this is outlaw gold, outlaw silver. We found a small little shed on somebody's ranch in like Wyoming or Utah or Montana or wherever, Nebraska, some nowhere state. Nothing wrong with those states, but I mean, like, in terms of population, they're significantly smaller. So there's less history to be said there. And that's what I'm getting at, is that it's just less likely in terms of just pure population that those really were from some bootlegger or whatever. Although maybe conversely, so if the population was smaller, maybe there'd be less law enforcement, so maybe it could be more likely to be from a bootlegger. I don't know. Maybe, I mean, it's all speculation. Who the hell knows what happened 85, 90 years ago, right? No cameras to record what happened in this little shed. But anyway, to get at the point. So these guys, they put up this ad and they go, oh yeah, we found jars, and they show a jar. and they say, yeah, all these coins, all this gold, 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 and there's like a jar filled with like $5 gold coins and Morgan dollars, and there's like a trade dollar in there. Ooh, trade dollar. And I mean, it's got all these good, little goodies, little good coins. And I don't even remember if it's a buy it now or an auction or whatever. I think it's a buy it. I think it's a buy it now because they know what they want and they're not going to take any less. And these guys, they claim it's all from the shed, and they try to, and obviously just like the other two ads, they try to get more than melt value. They try to push it beyond the real market value by adding some story fairy tale dust on top of it, sprinkling the little sprinkles on top there. But I don't buy it. And you look at the jars and I'm thinking, yeah, those jars can't be that old. And they claim that the jars came from the actual shed themselves, but when you look in the photos of the ad, you see that one of the jars they have is broken and shattered, and they actually lay the coins out kind of in a sprawling out effect in one of the photos, so that it's just as amazing looking as possible. It's just tens of thousands of dollars coming out of that jar, the broken jar. And all I can think in my head is there's no way that that jar broke and that the coins somehow still remained inside of it, unless you're saying you deliberately broke it when you brought it home or to your shop or whatever. And are you really willing to break a jar you supposedly found those coins in that's 90 years old? It just doesn't add up. I'm going to get to the point. I think these guys are bogus, that their story about finding it in a shed or whatever is bullshit, that they're just dealers, that they're probably just buying the shit from AppMex, and that's why they're charging 20, 40, 50% more than market. And that's the reason for the markup, is they just want to give people this false sense of nostalgia for a past that never was, or that the coins they're selling at least have no direct connection to it. And that's my point, is that how can you really prove that as a buyer? You'd have to prove damages in court when you buy from them, and how do you prove like nostalgia or whatever? And that's the point, is that this is just another eBay marketing tactic scam. And there's plenty more. But I think that accurately describes a huge swath of the market. And so scams and stupidity and just plain out hyperbole that's really unnecessary on coin sales, eBay, internet, TV, and elsewhere. Anyway, I think that's a pretty accurate list. If you can add to it, or if you disagree with anything I've said, or you have an opinion you want to voice, feel free to list it in the comments. I love to hear different opinions. Thanks for watching.